Hi, my name is Zoe Reina, and this is my video presentation over the Chapter 6 reflection. So, I'm going to be going over all the different elements that we went over in Chapter 6. The first one that I'm going over is format. And format is the edges found on paper or screens. It determines the placement of other parts of your design or layout. And an example of format that we all know is MLA format. It was the first thing that came to my mind as examples when I thought of format. Um, it's a specific layout for essays and reports typically used in English assignments. Um, it's There's a picture example of this right here. Since format, it has specific things that you have to or requirements in order to meet those certain formats. I thought this would be the perfect example since we already are familiarized with it. The next thing I'm going to be going over is margins. So this is the spacing seen between each side of a paper or screen. Um, when dealing with a spread, which is 2 pages, for example, uh, the display of pages in magazines and books, the side margins become inner/outer margins. So these become the sides like this, and these outer parts of the pages become the outer margins, whereas the inner parts of the pages they become the inner margins. Next, I have live, action safe, title safe areas. These are the areas where the text is displayed. This is so that the text is safe from being cut out or disappearing from being viewed. So, as you can see right here, action safe area takes up 90% of the screen. The title safe area takes up 80%, and the live area is where the way I thought of it was where the text is displayed, where it can be safely displayed so that it doesn't get cut out or you can't view it. Next is trimline. Now, trimline is a printing term that refers to the physical dimension of a flat page, where the sizing usually corresponds with that format. I believe I have trimline in an example in this one right here. So trimline is, let me make this larger. Um, Trimline is the red line right here. You can see where the scissors icon is. This is where, if you were to, let me go back. So this is where it ties in better with the next term that I'm going to go over. So I think I'll go over the next one and then I'll go back to this one. So bleed. This is the effect that background colors, textures, materials, words, and etc. flow through in the design. This gives the illusion of free design without borders, and but certain steps when printing the design is necessary to achieve this in the design. Okay, so what I think I meant by that is certain steps are needed in order to achieve this sort of outlook, where you could see the examples right here. This is if it were to have bled versus no bleeding, also on the bottom right here. So trim goes with um, full bleed. You can see this image is um, it's a business card, and it bleeds through. Where the trim size is a bordering around it. So if done correctly on the bleeding, you can have what appears to be this first image. Um, but if done incorrectly, the image is cut out or certain areas of it just doesn't execute the what the design was trying to go for. Next is columns. When speaking of the basic grids for web and print, they consist of 2 or 3 columns. It makes text easier to read when it's set to the correct font size, and examples of columns are newspapers, magazines, news article layouts, both digital and print. So the examples I used was the Wall Street Journal right here. You can see there's 6 columns. I think it's 6 columns, but there's different parts of it, so maybe it's like grouped together. Um, and a magazine right here, where if I were to make this larger, you can see there's 3 columns and there's 2 columns right here. And lastly is alley/gutter. An alley refers to the negative space between the layout and columns. This is the space between 2 or more columns that aren't the margins. The gutter is the spacing between 2 pages, typically seen in books and magazines. So the example I used was a book right here. I wanted to go over, I'll go back to another picture of the newspaper articles, but I just remembered that this example I really liked because it allowed me to show both an example of alley and gutter. So the gutter, let me make this larger. So the gutter is this area right here. It's the area where the 2 pages come together in the center, and the columns, alleys, are right here in the between these 2 columns. You can see the spacing between these 2 columns, and that's what's the alley. The way I'm thinking of it is imagining an alleyway and how they're small, just usually walkways between 2 buildings, and that's how I kind of view it right here. You can even place them together if you think of the paragraph breaks in between. They could also be like other little entries in an alleyway, but that's how I think of it. You could also see it in here as well, the alleys and of course the gutter between these magazines right here. And this concludes my presentation. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I look forward, I look forward to you watching this and giving me feedback. Bye.